Let me start with a simple question. Why is it that some women walk into a room and without saying a single word, you can feel their presence? It's not because of their clothes, not because of their position, and definitely not because of how loud they are. It's because of their habits. Let me begin with a small thought. Have you ever noticed that some women don't try to impress anyone, yet they leave a deep impression on everyone they meet? They don't speak much, they don't prove much, and they don't compete much. Still, people listen to them. People respect them. People feel calm around them. That calmness is not accidental. It is the result of certain habits. Intelligence is often misunderstood. Many think intelligence means high degrees, sharp arguments, or quick answers. But real intelligence is reflected in everyday life, in how one handles emotions, relationships, failures, and silence. Highly intelligent women understand this deeply. One of their strongest habits is that they respond, not react. Life will always press buttons. People will test patience. Situations will create pressure. But an intelligent woman pauses before she speaks. She understands that once words leave the mouth, they cannot be taken back. So instead of reacting from emotion, she responds from awareness. That pause becomes her power. Another beautiful habit is that she protects her energy more than her ego. She knows that not every argument deserves her time. Not every criticism deserves her explanation. She understands that energy is limited, and where you invest it decides the quality of your life. So she chooses peace over unnecessary battles and growth over drama. Highly intelligent women also value self-respect more than approval. They don't live life to be liked by everyone. They live life to be honest with themselves. They know that if they say yes to everyone, they end up saying no to themselves. So sometimes they disappoint others to remain loyal to their own values. This is not selfishness. This is self-awareness. Another powerful habit is that they learn continuously, even from pain. When something goes wrong, they don't sit in victim mode. They reflect. They ask, what is this teaching me? Pain becomes a teacher, not a punishment. Failure becomes feedback, not a full stop. This mindset makes them emotionally mature and mentally strong. They also have a deep relationship with silence. They don't feel the need to fill every moment with noise or words. Silence gives them clarity. Silence helps them understand themselves better. They know that sometimes walking away quietly is wiser than winning loudly. Most importantly, highly intelligent women choose peace over proving a point. They understand that being right is not as important as being kind to their own mind. They don't carry unnecessary grudges. They forgive not because as others deserve it, but because they deserve peace. Such women are not perfect. They have fears, doubts, and bad days. But they have habits that anchor them. Habits that help them rise again and again. When a woman builds such habits, she doesn't just become intelligent, she becomes inspiring. Because true intelligence is not about controlling others. It is about understanding yourself. Let me share something very simple yet very powerful. In life, we often meet women who are extremely talented, educated, and capable, yet they constantly feel drained, confused, or stuck. And then we meet some women who may not have everything figured out, but they carry a quiet confidence and inner stability. The difference is not luck. The difference is habits. Highly intelligent women don't rely only on intelligence of the mind, they cultivate intelligence of the heart. One of their most noticeable qualities is emotional awareness. They don't deny their emotions, but they also don't allow emotions to control their actions. When they feel anger, they acknowledge it. When they feel hurt, they sit with it. Instead of suppressing feelings or exploding, they process them. This habit saves them from many regrets and broken relationships. Highly intelligent women are also very mindful of the people they keep around. They understand that company influences consciousness. So they don't chase attention, they choose alignment. They prefer a small circle of genuine connections over a large crowd of shallow ones. They know that peace is not found in popularity, but in authenticity. Another important habit is discipline with compassion. They set boundaries, but they don't become rigid. They have routines, but they remain flexible. They push themselves to grow, yet they forgive themselves when they fall short. This balance between effort and kindness allows them to progress without burning out. They also have a strong habit of self-reflection. Instead of blaming the world, they look inward and ask honest questions. What could I have done better? What pattern is repeating in my life? This self-inquiry is not self-criticism, it is self-improvement. It helps them evolve instead of repeating the same mistakes in different forms. Highly intelligent women understand the importance of detachment. They give their best in relationships, work and responsibilities, but they don't attach their entire identity to outcomes. If something doesn't work out, they feel the pain, but they don't lose themselves. They understand that their worth is not dependent on success, appreciation, or validation. Another subtle habit is gratitude. Even on difficult days, they find something to be thankful for. Gratitude grounds them. It shifts their focus from what is missing to what is present. This doesn't mean they ignore problems. It means they face problems with a positive mindset. They are also learners for life. They remain curious. They listen more than they speak. They observe before they judge. They know that every person and every experience has something to teach them. This humility keeps them growing internally, regardless of age or position. Highly intelligent women don't rush life. They trust timing, they work sincerely and leave the rest. They understand that some answers come only with patience. Some doors open only when you are ready. Such women may not always shine loudly, but they glow steadily. Their intelligence is felt in their calmness, their choices, and their ability to remain centered in an unstable world. And that truly is wisdom. Let me invite you to reflect on something very gently. We often associate intelligence with sharp thinking, fast decisions, and clever words. But when you observe life closely, you realize that the most intelligent women are not the ones who always speak the loudest or act the fastest. They are the ones who understand life deeply and move through it with awareness. Their intelligence is not displayed, it is experienced. One of the strongest habits they develop is the ability to slow down internally, even when life moves fast externally. They don't rush decisions just because others are rushing. They take time to understand situations, people, and consequences. This habit saves them from unnecessary complications and emotional exhaustion. Highly intelligent women have clarity about what truly matters to them. They don't try to excel in everything, and they don't compare their journey with others. They know their priorities, and they structure their lives around them. When priorities are clear, distractions automatically lose their power. Another important habit is conscious communication. They don't speak to win arguments, they speak to build understanding. They listen fully, not just to reply, but to understand. And when silence is more appropriate than words, they choose silence. This wisdom in communication builds trust and respect naturally. They are also deeply comfortable with solitude. They don't see being alone as loneliness. Alone time becomes a space for reflection, healing, and renewal. They understand that if you are uncomfortable with yourself, no amount of external company can bring peace. So they build a strong inner relationship before seeking outer validation. Highly intelligent women accept change with grace. They understand that life is constantly evolving, and resisting change only creates suffering. When things fall apart, they don't see it as punishment, they see it as redirection. This mindset helps them flow with life instead of fighting it. They also practice emotional responsibility. Instead of saying, "You made me feel this way," they understand that emotions arise within. This doesn't mean they tolerate disrespect. It means they don't hand over control of their emotional state to others. This habit makes them internally free. Another powerful habit is intentional living. They don't live on autopilot. They are aware of how they spend their time, where they invest their energy, and what they consume mentally and emotionally. They understand that whatever you feed your mind eventually shapes your reality. Highly intelligent women also understand that growth is uncomfortable. They don't avoid discomfort if it leads to long-term improvement. They are willing to outgrow old versions of themselves, even if it means leaving familiar patterns, relationships, or beliefs behind. Most importantly, they are anchored in values, not moods. Their actions are guided by principles, not impulses. On good days and bad days, their values remain constant. This inner alignment gives them strength and stability. Such women don't chase success, they build substance. They don't seek attention, they cultivate depth. Their intelligence is reflected in their calm presence, thoughtful choices, and ability to remain grounded regardless of circumstances. Because true intelligence is not about mastering the world outside, it is about understanding the world within. Let us understand this with a very simple observation. Life does not become difficult because of situations alone. Life becomes difficult because of how we interpret situations. Highly intelligent women slowly realize this truth, and once they do, their entire approach to life changes. They stop fighting life and start understanding it. One habit that quietly transforms them is acceptance. Acceptance does not mean giving up or tolerating wrong. It means seeing reality as it is, not as we wish it to be. When expectations clash with reality, disappointment is born. Intelligent women reduce unnecessary suffering by aligning expectations with truth. This habit brings emotional stability. They also develop a deep sense of responsibility for their inner world. Instead of waiting for others to change, they work on themselves. They understand that they cannot control people, but they can control their reactions. This realization gives them power without aggression and confidence without arrogance. Highly intelligent women are patient with their growth. They don't rush healing. They don't force clarity. They allow themselves to evolve naturally. They understand that growth is not a straight line. It is a journey with pauses, setbacks, and lessons. Patience with oneself becomes an act of self-respect. Another strong habit is mindful decision-making. They don't make important choices when emotions are high. They give themselves space to calm down before deciding. This prevents regret and builds long-term peace. They understand that clarity comes from calmness, not chaos. They are also careful about the stories they tell themselves. Instead of repeating narratives of helplessness or fear, they choose empowering interpretations. They don't say, "This always happens to me." They say, "This is happening, and I will learn from it." This shift in inner dialogue changes everything. Highly intelligent women know when to hold on and when to let go. They don't cling to relationships, habits, or situations that consistently drain them. Letting go is not weakness for them, it is wisdom. They understand that sometimes release is necessary for growth. They also have a deep respect for time. They don't waste it trying to impress, compete, or compare. They invest time in learning, healing, and meaningful work. They know that time is life itself, and how you spend time is how you spend your life. Another important habit is humility. No matter how much they grow, they remain grounded. They stay open to feedback. They accept that they don't know everything. This humility keeps them teachable and balanced. Highly intelligent women also practice consistency in small things. They understand that big transformations come from small daily choices. They don't wait for motivation. They build discipline gently and sustainably. In the end, such women may not have perfect lives, but they have peaceful minds. And a peaceful mind is the greatest sign of intelligence. Because when a woman is internally stable, she becomes unshakable externally. That stability becomes her strength, her beauty, and her silent power. Let me end this reflection by bringing everything back to one simple truth. Life does not test our intelligence through exams or achievements alone. Life tests intelligence through relationships, disappointments, delays, and decisions made in silence. Highly intelligent women slowly understand that success outside means very little if there is chaos inside. So they focus on building inner order before seeking outer applause. One habit that defines them is self-mastery. They don't allow every thought to become a belief or every emotion to become an action. They observe their mind. They question their impulses. This awareness gives them freedom. Freedom from overthinking. Freedom from unnecessary fear. Freedom from emotional dependency. Highly intelligent women are also very intentional with self-talk. They understand that the voice inside the head is the most influential voice in life. So they speak to themselves with firmness and kindness. They don't insult themselves for mistakes. They correct themselves with compassion. This inner dialogue becomes the foundation of their confidence. They also understand the importance of forgiveness. Not because others are always right, but because carrying resentment is heavy. Forgiveness becomes a way to unclutter the heart. It doesn't mean forgetting lessons, it means releasing poison. This habit protects their mental peace and emotional health. Another strong habit is adaptability. When plans change or life takes an unexpected turn, they don't collapse internally. They adjust, they redesign, they rebuild. They understand that flexibility is intelligence in action. Rigid minds break easily, adaptable minds grow stronger. Highly intelligent women are deeply aware of their limits. They know when to rest. They know when to say no. They don't glorify exhaustion. They understand that burnout is not a badge of honor. Taking care of oneself is not laziness, it is wisdom. They also carry a quiet faith in life. Faith that effort matters. Faith that time heals. Faith that clarity arrives when needed. This trust keeps them grounded during uncertainty. They work sincerely and release anxiety about outcomes. This balance creates inner calm. Another subtle but powerful habit is service. They don't live only for themselves. They help, guide, and uplift others in whatever way they can. Service keeps them humble and connected. It reminds them that life is bigger than personal problems. Highly intelligent women don't chase perfection. They embrace progress. They accept their flaws while working on them. They understand that growth does not require self-hate, it requires self-honesty. In the end, such women are not defined by how much they know, how much they earn, or how much attention they receive. They are defined by how peacefully they live, how gracefully they handle challenges, and how sincerely they grow. Because true intelligence is not about controlling life. It is about flowing with life, with awareness, balance, and a calm, steady heart. So remember, an intelligent woman is not perfect. She is aware. She is not fearless. She is faithful to herself. She does not control the world. She controls her responses, habits, and values. And when a woman masters her habits, she doesn't just change her life. She inspires generations. Thank you. Stay mindful. Stay strong and always choose wisdom over noise.